If you're like most people, you probably want to improve your financial situation and save more money. Thankfully, you've come to the right place because today, we're gonna talk about valuable pieces of financial wisdom from none other than Warren Buffett himself. These principles have helped countless individuals achieve financial success, and I'm confident they'll work for you too. You see, Warren Buffett, the CEO of Berkshire Hathaway and one of the richest people globally, has a fortune of about $118 billion, as Forbes estimates. Despite his vast wealth, Buffett gives straightforward advice on how to do well financially and grow your money. In this video, I will share his 7 tiny steps that anyone can take to start saving money right away. So let's dive in. Step 1. Buy for value, not brand. You see, Buffett's investment decisions, whether it's with companies like Geico or products like Fruit of the Loom, highlight his unwavering focus on intrinsic value over brand prestige. And that's a lesson we can all benefit from. So let's challenge that idea we've been fed for so long, that brand name products are always better. Sure, branding can influence our perception, but what really matters is the actual value we're getting for our hard-earned money. Overpaying just for a fancy logo when a more affordable alternative offers the same quality is simply not financially smart. As Buffett famously puts it, price is what you pay, value is what you get. That's the mantra we should all have in mind when we open our wallets. What's more, it's essential to look beyond the brand and do a little homework. Reading reviews and recommendations before making a purchase is a game changer. It gives us insights into the real experiences of people who've already bought the product, helping us make informed decisions. Buffett doesn't make investments without thoroughly understanding the value proposition, and neither should we when we're buying anything from socks to stocks. Lastly, let's talk about the temptation of buying items solely for status or to impress others. We've all been there, wanting that flashy car or designer handbag just to show off. But Buffett's financial wisdom reminds us that true wealth isn't built on what you display to the world. Instead, it's about what's in your bank account and investments. So when you're making a purchase, ask yourself if it's something you genuinely need or if it's just a status symbol. Remember, it's not the brand that defines you. It's the value you create for yourself and your financial future. Step 2. Save first. Expense later. Now think about your typical salary cycle. You get your paycheck, and what do most of us do? We start spending it right away, whether it's on bills, groceries, dinners out, or that online shopping spree we've been eyeing. And by the end of the month, there's often not much left to save. That's where we often go wrong. But what if you flip that script? Imagine getting your salary, and the first thing you do is save or invest a portion of it. Let's say you kickstart your savings by investing in a mutual fund through a systematic investment plan or SIP. In this scenario, you prioritize saving before you start spending. It's like putting your financial future first. This approach not only helps you manage your money better, but also keeps you from overspending. When you know you have less to spend, you naturally become more conscious of your income and expenses. This technique is what Warren Buffett refers to as paying yourself first, and it's a game changer for those who adopt it. It's like setting up an automatic system that prioritizes your savings. Plus, you can explore tax-saving investments like an equity-linked savings scheme or ELSS, which not only helps you save on taxes, but also grows your wealth over time. Number 3. Pay your debts and keep the credit card away. You know, there's a famous quote by Buffett that goes like this: I've seen more people fail because of liquor and leverage. Leverage being borrowed money. In simple terms, he's saying that borrowing money can be a slippery slope that leads to financial trouble. And you know what? He's absolutely right. One thing Buffett is particularly cautious about is credit cards. He actually advises avoiding them altogether, and here's why. Credit cards often come with sky-high interest rates, sometimes as much as 18% or even 20%. Now imagine if you borrowed money at those rates. It's like throwing your hard-earned cash into a financial black hole. Buffett once said, if I borrowed money at 18% or 20%, I'd be broke. So it's a wise idea to steer clear of those plastic temptations. Instead, consider using a debt card or cash for your day-to-day expenses. That way, you're spending your own money, not borrowed money that comes with a hefty interest bill attached. And while having a credit card for emergencies or building those crippling interest rates, remember, Buffett built his wealth by making interest work for him, not by working to pay off interest. Step 4. Learn to make a positive income. Now, I'm sure many of you can relate to the idea of working day in and day out, with retirement feeling like a distant dream. While Buffett himself once dropped this wisdom bomb, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. That's a reality check right there. And trust me, you're not alone if you're concerned about not having enough saved up for retirement. A Gallup poll showed that a whopping 71% of non-retired adults are worried about funding their golden years. So what can you do about it? Well, that's where passive income comes into play. Warren Buffett suggests diversifying your sources of passive income rather than depending on a single stream. By doing so, you can enhance stability and spread your risk. For instance, conservative investors might consider allocating 50% of their funds to index funds, 35% to dividend stocks, and 15% to growth stocks or cash. You see, cash is indeed king. But it's not always wise to stash your cash away for the long term. In a low interest rate environment, inflation can eat away at your savings, and your cash can actually lose value over time. So the key is to explore opportunities for passive income streams that can beat inflation and keep your wealth growing, even while you sleep. The goal here is to find ways to make your money work for you, not the other way around. Step number 5. Buy and hold investing with the S&P 500 index. Now you might be wondering, what's the S&P 500? Well, it's an index that represents some of the largest and strongest companies in the US. It's like a who's who of corporate giants. So when you invest in an S&P 500 index fund, you're essentially investing in the long-term performance of these powerhouse companies. Warren Buffett is such a fan of this investment strategy that he once made a $1 million bet in 2008 to prove its effectiveness. He bets that over a decade, an S&P 500 index fund would outperform 5 actively managed hedge funds. And guess what? He was right. His chosen investment, the Vanguard 500 index fund Admiral shares, not only won but crushed the competition. It generated returns of nearly 126%, while the hedge funds averaged just 36%. But here's the beauty of an S&P 500 index fund. It's a set it and forget it type of investment. You don't need to sweat over picking individual stocks, researching companies, or trying to time the market. Nope. You simply invest whatever you can afford and then let your money do its thing. It's like planting a money tree and watching it grow over time. Plus, it's an excellent choice during periods of market volatility. The S&P 500 has a stellar track record when it comes to bouncing back from tough times, whether it's a recession, a bear market, or any other rocky period. So you can count on it to weather the storm. Step number 6. Increase and diversify your investments. First and foremost, why should you even bother increasing and diversifying your investments? Well, think of it like this. You wouldn't put all your eggs in one basket, right? In the world of investing, the basket represents a single asset or investment. Now, to minimize risk and maximize your chances of making money, you want to spread those eggs across different baskets. This balanced approach is like a safety net for your financial future. But here's the kicker. You can't just scatter your money randomly. Before you invest a dime, you should do your homework. Research is your best friend in the world of finance. Warren Buffett, the Oracle of Omaha, is renowned for his meticulous research before diving into the investment. Knowledge is power, my friends, and it can be the difference between making smart choices and losing your hard-earned cash. Lastly, don't underestimate the importance of setting clear investment goals. Are you saving for a dream vacation, a comfortable retirement, or building wealth for future generations? Knowing your objectives helps you tailor your investment strategy accordingly. Step number 7. Ignore market forecasts. You see, one common mistake many people make is putting too much faith in those fancy market forecasts. But here's the truth. Relying solely on these forecasts can lead you down a rocky financial road. Why, you ask? Well, market forecasts are like weather predictions. They're often right, but sometimes they're way off the mark. Warren Buffett himself advises against making investment decisions based on these forecasts. Instead, he's all about investing in companies that have intrinsic value, ones that are truly worth their weight in gold. So what's the takeaway here? It's simple. Make informed decisions, not emotional ones. Don't let market forecasts sway your judgment too much. Do your homework, research companies, and invest in things you understand and believe in. If you enjoyed this video guys, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and watch this one as well.